Okay, class, let's continue with what we have ended yesterday. We were doing regarding the instruments of the parliamentary controls. Okay, so we have discussed already regarding the two ways, that is your discussion and deliberation and approval and ratification of laws. Okay, so the third one that we are going to discuss today is regarding the financial control. Okay, now when it comes to the financial control, we know that especially or particularly when it's a money bill related. Okay, so Lok Sabha has the maximum power as compared to the Rajya Sabha. Okay, Rajya Sabha is there just to provide the suggestions, but it fully depends upon the Lok Sabha whether the Lok Sabha members want to accept that particular suggestions which has been made by the Rajya Sabha or not. Okay, the full maximum power lies in the hands of the Lok Sabha, whether they want to implement, whether they want to take the advice which has been given to them by the Rajya Sabha. So, financial resources to implement the program, you need a particular fund, you need a particular amount of money for implementing any kind of a program by the government, right? So where does that government or how does that particular financial resources is been provided? Now we know that when it comes to the distribution of power, state level and the local level governments which are there, they are being provided with the help of the financial funds by the central government. Okay, and when it comes to the central government, every year we know that there is a implementation of the budget session that takes place. That means all the totaling of the budget, how much amount of money has been expended. Okay, how much amount of money has been you can say is there with the government, what's the lump sum of money is needed to be spent on what policy, on what issue, on what matter, on what programs, all these things have been discussed. Okay, so preparation and the presentation of budget for the approval of the legislature is constitutional obligation of the government. Now why constitutional obligation? Because this is the only obligation which will allow the legislature to exercise the control over the purse strings of the government. That means the legislature may refuse to grant the resources to the government at the local and the state level. Okay, now this basically happens when the government ordinarily, you can say, when there is a majority of votes is there in the hands of the government who are there sitting in the Lok Sabha. Okay, so before granting any kind of a money or any kind of a financial resources, the Lok Sabha will be discussing the reason for which the government requires that amount of money. Okay, now it will ensure or it will inquire that whether or there should not be any kind of a misuse of the funds on the basis of the report of the comptroller and the auditor general and the public accounts committee. Now these are some of the committees who looks after the financial administrative purposes. Okay, so with the help of their report, then only the Lok Sabha will give the approval whether they want to provide this particular amount of money to the government or not. Okay, so through financial control, the legislature controls the policy of the government, because unless and until you have been provided with the financial resources, you are provided with the fund, you will not be able to implement any kind of a policy or any kind of a program. Okay, so the last one, that is the fourth way or the instrument with the help of which the parliament can control the executive, is your no confidence motion. Now when it comes to no confidence motion, as I have told you earlier, okay, in your discussion and deliberation and approval and ratification of laws, particularly in the second point, I have told you, I have mentioned this point, that when it comes to a government which has been formed by a particular party, by gaining the majority vote, it will be easy for them to you can say go on a long process of the 5 years to enjoy the power by making the government. But when it comes to a coalition form of a government, we know that that particular government has been formed by combining or by the coalition of more than one parties or more than two parties. Okay, so when it comes to a coalition form of a government, it is not so guaranteed that that particular coalition government is going to you can say complete the term of 5 years. Okay, so that is only the no confidence motion. That means when being whether it's a coalition government, okay, whether it's a one party formed government, unless and until you enjoy the majority of votes in the Lok Sabha, the government is going to sustain. Once you have a minority or once you have started losing the majority votes in the Lok Sabha, that government is not going to sustain for a very long term. That means majority of people, majority of confidence in Lok Sabha you can say will be give you the way for sustaining for a very long term. And if you do not have a majority of seats in the Lok Sabha, you won't be able to sustain for the full tenure of the 5 to 6 years. Okay, now see over here, the most powerful weapon that enables the parliament to ensure the executive accountability is the no confidence motion. That means as long as the government has the support of its party or a coalition of parties that have a majority in the Lok Sabha, the power of the House to dismiss the government is fictional rather than real. Okay, so however, after 1989, why particularly 1989? Because after 1989 it has been seen that there was the you can say effective involvement of the opposition parties in a form of a coalition form of a government, because at that time they came to know that you can say during 1970s only the opposition parties has been formed. Okay, that time the opposition parties came to know that unless and until they combine or they join themselves together, they are not going to sustain against the main political or the national political party. Okay, so it has been seen that after the 1989 several governments have been forced to resign due to the lack of confidence of the House. When it comes to no confidence motion, I have to given you one example earlier regarding 1977 Janata Party. Over there also Janata Party could only be able to rule or could only be able to survive their government for the term of 2 years. Okay, they could not be able to sustain for a very long term, because of which after the 1979 the fresh Lok Sabha election has been conducted at that particular scenario. So same thing over here also, after 1989 the several governments have been forced to resign because of the lack of the confidence in the House. So each of these governments lost the confidence of the Lok Sabha because they failed to retain the support of their coalition partners. Especially, as I have mentioned you, that is because of the not having the support of the coalition parties who have came together to form the government at that particular time. So these are the 4 instruments or the 4 ways with the help of which the parliament can control the executive, or you can say it can check that the executive is working in a much more accountable manner or not.